Yo, everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today, I'm gonna be reacting to my game against Sp4ghet, who is a Japanese player who I played during my first game of the week 2 of the Geoguessr World League. So, yeah, I'm gonna try to be reacting to my games of the Geoguessr World League. I haven't played any in the 2 last weeks, but yeah, I've only played 5 games so far, and I'll be playing this weekend again. So yeah, this game against Sp4ghet was the first game of week 2, which was a game I really needed to win because I was on a quite a losing. I mean, I lost 2 games during week 1, which went very poorly, mainly due to internet issues. Like I'm playing on my 5G connection from my phone, which is very limited. Like especially when you want to stream and webcam, as you have to do during the World League games, it's just very tough. Like I only have 2 megabytes of upload capacity. So yeah, but thankfully I'll be getting a new fiber connection by January next year. So yeah, it should get a lot better, especially for moving, which yeah, which was basically impossible for me so far. But yeah, here we're gonna watch my game against Sp4ghet, which I did have my fair share of moving difficulties due to the internet. But yeah, we'll see how it went. But yeah, I really wanted to win this game as I was having a rough start, and I thought I had a good chance against Sp4ghet, although he's a pretty good moving player. Like I knew I would have to lock in on moving to beat him because he's probably a better moving player than me. But I felt probably better at the other modes, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. So here we had a first round. I'm moving very slowly. Everything is blurry all around. I mean, here what you're seeing here is not the actual image that I was seeing, and during most of the time, like most of the stuff was blurry, and I had to wait for stuff to load in order to move again. So that's how it goes when the internet is trash. But yeah, I eventually got to a main road which looked super Hong Kong with the skyscrapers and mountains. So yeah, makes sense. We also had English and Chinese at spawn, which you mostly really get in Hong Kong, places like Hong Kong and Singapore. Maybe rarely in Taiwan, but yeah. You get a southern Brazil round, you get a round pole. So I was thinking Sao Paulo, and then my connection was just very poor at that time, so I didn't really try to move around for an area code. He found one very quickly, unfortunately. So yeah, I just tried to vibe it out and made a pretty poor guess there because I just went Sao Paulo with the round poles, but it was actually Santa Catarina with the 48 area code. We also had some other clues for Santa Catarina. I think already this hexagonal pavement is good meta for Santa Catarina. You get it, of course, in other places in the country like Minas and Espirito, but with this like wealthy urban landscape, Santa Catarina is definitely something I could have considered. Um, and also we had a CEP code which is in the 80s, which is never Sao Paulo. It's only Paraná and Santa Catarina. And yeah, the high 80s makes sense for Santa Catarina as it's more south. So yeah, just pretty bad guess there. I mean, I didn't really know my CPs at that time that well, and I still don't know them that well. But this one I do remember now as I watched the stream again. Yeah, this game was on the mainstream with Ziggy and Gelotris, so yeah, I watched it again. It's quite a big hit on that round. That was very, yeah, kind of a bad round for me. Immediately here we have West Cali poles. I tried to find a good one to show you here on Sp4ghet's image. So when you have this like equilateral triangle, like 60-degree angle of triangle in the attachment, it's always going to be West Cali or Maluku. You can get similar triangle attachment tops in West Sumatra, but they are steeper, like they are more 45 degrees. So yeah, I'll try to show some image for you to see. Um, yeah, I immediately knew it was gonna be West Cali, and then I tried quickly to look for a Kabu pattern, but I didn't really want to move around too much, especially as my moving is very slow. I guess kind of in the east of the state because I didn't see many palms and also it was pretty hilly and I don't know, it looked kind of weird, so I committed a little too much on that. And he goes for West Sumatra, so that's actually huge points there. Um, Probably being surprised by the mountains and the landscape in general, but the poles were like very West Cali. So yeah, Probably a little trolled guess there by Sp4ghet. I mean, happens. Here in Italy, a country I feel quite confident at, especially I know like it's probably the country outside of France and Denmark where I know the relative most amount of places with the US. So yeah, I was hoping to find some like place names or something, and then like kind of miraculously actually we like I don't know, it didn't really look like a place where we would have a city sign like that. I mean sign for cities, but we actually did. And so yeah, Sp4ghet got to that sign much earlier and was scanning actually the correct part. He was scanning the south, but then he hedged a bit more middle. And so here the sign says SARC, which usually stands for like bigger provincial capitals, so Salerno and Reggio Calabria. And then what I found was Viboval, which standed for Vibo Valentia, which was a city I knew. I mean, I knew I had seen it a bunch of times on the maps, but I wasn't exactly sure. So like I quickly scanned for it, as you can see. But yeah, it's pretty findable. It's like one of the main cities in the southern part of the boot. So yeah, and he ends up going in the middle of the country, not probably not finding Vibo Valencia. And yeah, we nearly win just from that. Yes, he's down to 142 health, so I was feeling quite confident at that point. And then we get a pretty horrible round. We get an India round, which is not what you want to see on 3x. Now, despite my internet, I really wanted to find a city name, as we had like a lot of shops around with like place names and stuff. So I was hoping that I would be able to find something. But the problem is that here Sp4ghet actually finds a sign that says Haryana, which is a very very good sign to have, and my signs only said like Pasnat city, which is a tiny place never heard about. Yeah, he looks around for the landscape, sees that it probably makes sense, and then he just guesses, which makes sense. And then I'm trying to move back because I didn't find anything there. Then I see, so like I tried to move back here, but like here it's everything is blurry as I try to move back because my connection is so poor. And like here it says Delhi, but I don't see it because it's all like this. Everything is blurry. The whole screen is blurry, and I think it loaded up at the last second. Like at the last second it loaded up or something. I saw that I was pretty sure it would be a useful sign, but I didn't have time to switch. Like I didn't have time to read Delhi and switch. So yeah, I end up getting a pretty far away guess there in India, and I was absolutely like really pissed about the result of that round. Yeah, that's just stupid. That's just due to connection issues, which yeah, it's just kind of sad. But yeah, to be fair, I didn't play flawlessly on that moving. Like I did make a bit of a mistake on the Brazil round. So yeah. But yeah, that was quite annoying. And as you saw, I got up and throw a little kick in the air and stuff. Yeah, I don't know what to say. That was just very unfortunate. Then we get into the new move one, which I really need to win in order to not lose 2-0 and get 0 points. So here we got a pretty middle-ish type round in ZA. Nothing much to say here. Me and Sp4ghet both kind of considered the similar areas, and it was a bit more west because we both kind of hedged. Here we get Brazil, northeastern Brazil round. You never really know where you are. Yeah, I thought if you look at the round here on Sp4ghet's side, I thought this might be a Paraiba lamp at first, but it was not. This one, it wasn't thick enough, like the attachment. And then yeah, I didn't really know. I tried to trust some cluster method that I knew of, like the blurry coverage that you get in Southern Bahia. But it wasn't like really the correct car, so that was a pretty bad guess eventually. Yeah, he had a pretty good region guess there also, so I lose 2,000 points on that. Then we get a Thailand round, urban Thailand, very hard country to region guess. So here I saw these like big concrete houses which looked kind of wealthy, and the Sumatra palm, which all in all just made me want to go pretty far south in the country. yeah, and Sp4ghet was kind of hovering around the max north, like near border of Laos. But yeah, I ended up going max south, and he ended up hedging on the label. So I somehow survived that round, although my guess is quite terrible, and he kind of had the correct fault. Now, apparently, some people told me afterwards that I mean, this sort of hilly urban landscape is quite common near the Laos border in general. But then we also had like those type of, okay, did I did not actually zoom on it on them, but we, okay, here I did. We had some like red roofs or ornate type of roofs, which probably are more common in the north of the country. So yeah, definitely not my best guess, but also just a pretty hard like round in general. Then we got a Norway round. I was thinking about the like south of Kirkenes Road, but I wasn't too sure. I didn't feel confident enough, so I ended up just hedging in general near South Volta. I mean, I knew that it would probably not be that road as it was kind of a shitty road, but I didn't really know, and it was actually south of Kirkenes. I mean, I know I thought about it, but like I was not sure enough to go there, and I was pretty sure Sp4ghet would not commit all the way into Kirkenes, so yeah, I ended up hedging. We both did the same, and I'm very lucky to survive again. So 295 HP with a very poor internet connection and losing 1-0, which is like the worst setup you could imagine. Then we get a urban US round, which really is one of the best rounds I could have gotten against Sp4ghet, I think, in no move. So what do we have here? We have very kind of poor road quality, straight east-west grid. So exactly like you get a lot in the Midwest in the US in general and in other places as well. But everything in the Midwest pretty much is in a grid. Then you get very poor, kind of poorly looking houses and yeah, just general. Like everything on this round kind of made me think about like Ohio, Indiana, Iowa or something like that, Missouri, and then we see this plate. I mean, I see this plate, which I don't know if you can tell, but there's like a slight black square like in the middle, which you can tell apart from the rest of the like white plate. And that's very typical of the Missouri plate. So that was one of the plates I had learned recently. Um, so I decided to trust that plate because I thought it made sense overall with the landscape and the yeah, the overall look of the round. And I thought also if I wanted to get back in the game, I had to go for like kind of a commit. So I ended up just going middle Missouri because I didn't really know which side to go for on this. Because usually if it's like hilly like that, it's often hilly and urban. It's often like near the rivers. Either I think it's like the Mississippi River here, and is it the Missouri? There's probably the Missouri one in Kansas City. I'm not sure, but it gets pretty hilly on the bluffs around the rivers. But yeah, I hedged in the middle because I didn't know which side, and he went for the northeast, which I mean I guess it's an urban round. You don't really know, like especially when you get like white wooden houses. Like it's you could definitely get similar looking houses in the northeast. So it's a rough round, but yeah, just seeing the like the overall road quality and like the poverty kind of and the way the grid was, it kind of made more sense for the Midwest. And but then other than that, without the plate, I probably would not have gotten such a good guess. I probably would have just went Ohio or Indiana or something. So yeah. So here you see my camera went off right at that moment. My whole 5G actually crashed at that moment. So I actually won on a round where I crashed at the end. I was not even sure my guess went through. Like I here you can see my camera is frozen. So here I don't see the result of the round. So that is actually crazy. I was pretty sure that that I wouldn't win on this round, that he would go somewhere in the Midwest and that I wouldn't win, and that he would guess like on the next round and that I wouldn't have time to go back. You know what I mean? So I tried to get my camera I mean, first my internet and then my camera backup. But I was not, I was not really doing that very quickly, as I was pretty sure I would just lose 2-0 on the next round. Um, so yeah, here it takes some time, and then you then you'll see me say I get the internet back up, and then you'll see me put the camera back, because I use my phone as webcam, so I had to take it out and then put it back up, and I didn't know that my camera would keep putting out content, so you get a little room tour. You get to see me put up my camera directly. So yeah, that was quite funny. I saw a lot of people reacted to that on the stream. So I was very surprised that I won that game, and I was very lucky. I got pretty unlucky on the moving one, that my connection was very poor and that I couldn't get to the information on the India round, but I got as lucky as I got unlucky on the moving round. I got very lucky on the no move to win, just like that, to get that US round multis and win like this. So yeah, because I was not playing very well on that no move. I was playing very poorly, in fact, and Sp4ghet was kind of playing pretty well. Like, he got a very good Northeast Brazil region guess. He was almost getting like an insane urban Thailand region guess, and then he got very unlucky to lose like that on the last round. So yeah, definitely could have lost 2-0 like that. So I was very pleased about that one. Then we get into NMPZ, so I was starting to feel a little bit better. NMPZ is like the mode I've probably played the most in the last 6 months, and feel pretty confident at. Here we get an interesting European round. So here what I see is the road quality, the fields all around the road like this, and the guardrails also kind of oldish looking guardrails. So it mostly felt like countries like Bulgaria, Hungary, or Romania, one of the three. And I don't know, it was a little bit weird for Hungary, also a little bit weird for Bulgaria. So I didn't really want to commit to anything. So I just kind of went in the border between Hungary and Romania. Sp4ghet was hovering around everywhere in Europe. I mean, these type of rounds are so much harder if you're not from Europe, haven't like been around a bunch of countries and stuff. It's so much harder. Yeah, definitely, especially for a Japanese player. So very lucky to get these type of rounds against Sp4ghet. Just like I got the US round, which the US, I mean, I'm not American, but it's a country I've just studied so much, even before playing Geoguessr, like learning place names. As you may see on my channel, I have a video where I name I don't exactly know how many places I name in the US during that video, but probably like 500-600 or something. But yeah, even when in my Geoguessr time, I've played the US more probably than any other country. So yeah, definitely got a bit lucky overall during this matchup. Here we get a Japanese round, but there's really nothing there, I think, even for a Japanese player to region guess this. So we both kind of click middle, and it's Kyushu. Then we get an India round, which as you can see, I immediately zoom into the northeast, like with the vibes from the round, like the very colorful houses. It kind of felt like something you would see in the more northeast part of the country. And then I also saw the pole top, which you can slightly see here, like the complicated pole top with a bunch of arms sticking out like that. These pole tops are very common in West Bengal. Not really sure if they are exclusive. I feel like you can sometimes get them in other cities around the country, but they are a lot, like really a lot in West Bengal. So I really tried to commit this one because I was hoping to be able to win directly on 2x and not, get any higher into the multis. So yeah, and that's often how I feel like playing. Like, I really like to commit to my vibes, which is what I also did on that Thailand round, but on the move, but that went very poorly. So, but yeah, I like to commit on rounds because to not feel remorse afterwards, and to not stack up the multis, especially stack up the multis on an NMPZ, because it's so random. And that's what happened on my game against MK. in the first week. I lost due to higher multis on NMPZ. So yeah, I was very pleased about winning already on round 3 in NMPZ and taking the win there. It was definitely an interesting and hard-fought battle overall against Sp4ghet. He played pretty well during that game overall. Right, sorry, my camera just died, so I'll have to end without the webcam. Yeah, I was very pleased to be able to take the 2 points there and my first victory. It was quite hard fought, and but yeah, I could have taken the 3 points if I didn't have the problem on the last India round. If I just clicked Delhi there, I might have been closer, because I think he went outside of like the Delhi metro area. He just went in the middle of Haryana. So I could have won by just clicking Delhi there if my round actually loaded. But on the other hand, realistically, I was so damn close to losing the no move one, and definitely didn't deserve to win that one. So I overall was pretty happy about the 2 points and the first win on this one. So yeah, that's how I felt about this game, and I'll jump into the next reaction video in a couple days. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this one, and see you soon.